All right, back for another beer review, and today I'm going to be reviewing a beer from the Victory Brewing Company, and they are out of Downingtown, Pennsylvania, and this is their Festbier. So this is an Oktoberfest style beer that comes in at 5.6% alcohol by volume, and IBUs are questionable. They're not listed. I found a few places that said 20 IBUs, but not verified, so we'll just say not available. And at the time of review, this beer is about 5.5 weeks old. So, Victory. I haven't reviewed anything from Victory on my channel yet, so I figured I would start with the first beer that they ever brewed at Victory, this beer, which I did not know whatsoever until I did a little bit of research when I bought this beer. But yeah, so one thing that made me want to review this for Oktoberfest season on my channel this year was the fact that the word Festbier is prominently displayed on the label. Most of the American born and bred Oktoberfest beers, they either say Oktoberfest on them or Märzen, prominently displayed one of the two names. So to see Festbier for an American brewery, kind of unique. Under here, though, it says Oktoberfest Amber Lager. Now, I'm not going to get into a long spiel about the difference between Märzens and Festbiers. You can look it up if you want to. I did a little bit of research years ago. Basically, Märzens are Oktoberfest beers. Festbiers are Oktoberfest beers. Märzens are the traditional style, the old school style from a couple hundred years ago. But back in the 70s, Paulaner developed Festbiers, which they now serve at the actual authentic Oktoberfest celebration in Munich, Germany every year. And Festbiers are more or less a lighter in color, but also lighter in body Märzen. So you could drink a lot more of them. Even though the percentage of alcohol is very similar, you don't get filled up as quickly. Therefore, they can sell more and you can buy more and you can drink more. Now, even though it says Festbier on the label here for Victory, it says Oktoberfest Amber Lager. I'm imagining that this one's going to pour out like a Märzen, taste like a Märzen. So this isn't really a Festbier, but a lot of places call Festbiers and Märzens Oktoberfest, and I don't know who's right, I don't know who's wrong. I'm probably wrong, but I usually am, so who cares? I'm going to crack this open and pour it. I'm going to say this pours out like it says amber. It's going to be probably more of a Märzen than anything, but using the Victory Gold Monkey glass because we can. And yeah, that looks like your typical Oktoberfest Märzen beer. So, as you can see, definitely an amber color, like a rust color to it. Very filtered, finger of, you know what, that's like an off-white, almost light tan head, it's really not bright white. But yeah, it plays the role of an Oktoberfest Märzen more so than a Festbier. But we're just going to say this is a Märzen, forget the name Festbier, that's what it is. Anyway, let's get a nose on it. Ooh, that one actually smells pretty damn decent. Now, I mentioned before, Oktoberfest beers are not my favorite style, but I do appreciate a good one, so this is coming off really nice. Lots of toasty malt and like toasted bread, caramel and toffee. Definitely super malt forward like these beers should be. An ever so slight, earthy, almost spicy hop character as opposed to like a floral character on the nose from the hop character. Yeah, more of like almost like a, I don't want to say rye spice, but there's definitely a spicy component to this one, but really big on the bready, toasted malt, caramel, almost borderline toffee caramel sweetness. Yeah, not much more to speak of. Like so many of these Oktoberfest beers, very similar when it comes to the nose, but let's see what the taste has to offer, so cheers. This is nice. Now, before I get into this, I did have this beer blind. Paul over at PA Brew News, Matt over at Massive Beer Reviews, and myself, I think like 4 years ago in 2014. I think it was Labor Day of 2014, so a little bit over 4 years ago. We did a blind Oktoberfest. It was like the German, I guess the foreign. It wasn't just German Oktoberfest. It was foreign Oktoberfest first, American Oktoberfest, and we did a blind tasting. It's over on Paul's channel. If I can remember, I will post a link in the description box. It's terrible, by the way, especially because I'm reviewing beers like 4 years ago, and I'm still terrible now, but I was terrible back then too. I think I gave this like a 3, something like that. We were doing a blind, you know, we're doing them all next to one another, so I guess more authentic, but at the same time, palate was a little bit shot. We killed beers the night before. It's a bit of a mess, so this is certainly better than 275. So first off, this has a bit of a bigger body to it, like medium, higher side of medium body. Has a nice crisp and relatively clean character to the body itself and the mouthfeel. It's not overly sweet though. There is a nice balance between that caramel, toasted malt, toasted bread quality to the malt character, and that like spicy, earthy, floral hop component. They're like battling one another, but in the greatest way possible to make this a very balanced, easy drinking Oktoberfest. Definitely a Märzen. Based on what I've been tasting, this is definitely a Märzen, not a Festbier. You can tell by the color, you can tell by the actual character. It has more of that caramel, more of that like toasted malt, and just, yeah, has even slightly more of like a hop kick too. Even though, like I said, it's quite balanced. It does. This was one of the more bolder Märzens or Oktoberfest I've had so far. Yeah, this is really nice. Again, the style itself isn't one of my favorite styles. That said, this is pretty good. I'm going to review, as I said in the past, well, since I've done what, 4 to this date, 5, 6, whatever's going to be posted before this. I'm reviewing to style and personal taste. Style, I'd give this a 4 out of 5. I think it's a very nice, actually well-made representation of the Oktoberfest style. Again, Märzen, even though it says Festbier, more Märzen, whatever, it doesn't matter. Oktoberfest, Märzen, it's a 4 out of 5. Personal taste, like I said, I gave it a 3 years ago. I'd give this like a 3.5 for me personally, maybe a 3.75. We'll just go straight. We'll go 3.75. I think this is way better than I remember it. Again, not doing it blind. My palate's not shot, and I'm just drinking it on what's in the glass and what I'm going for. And you guys know I'm not a huge fan of the style. So 3.75 for me, 4 out of 5 for the style. I think it's a really nice beer. And if you guys get this in your area, pick it up and see what you guys think about it, because I think it's damn tasty. So that was Festbier from Victory Brewing Company. 3.75 for personal enjoyment, 4 out of 5 for the style. And yeah, done with another one of these. We're getting to the end. I imagine that this will probably be one of the better ones that I enjoy, but I guess we'll see. Anyway, till the next one. Cheers.